Hey guys, my name is Erica and I have Charmander with me here today. So to continue celebrating the BOOKEMON READATHON that is happening this month, I decided that I wanted to do the legendary Pokemon book tag. This book tag was originally created by Sarah from Novel Serendipity, who was actually one of the leaders during this BOOKEMON READATHon. So make sure you check out her channel, I'll leave a link down below, and let's just get right into the tag because my camera's about to die. These Pokemon are all originals, which makes this tag even better because I love the old Pokemon and that's like what I grew up with. Mew, your original favorite book and the book that started it all. Okay, so when I was a kid, I had a lot of favorite books, but I think the book that stands out to me the most that really made me appreciate reading was Chasing Redbird by Sharon. This is a middle grade book. This book follows a 13-year-old girl named Zinni who just loses her aunt, and it basically follows her journey as she copes with grief and these new feelings and experiences she's never felt before. And it's pretty heartfelt and really good. Like, I don't really remember a whole lot about it, but I know it really changed like my perspective and it really made me appreciate reading. After that, I pretty much read all of Sharon Creech's books, and I just like really enjoyed her writing style and a lot of the topics that she faced in her novels. It's a really good book for middle grade readers, and I just really appreciated it, and it's one of the first books that I remember really well and remembered really loving. Mewtwo, a series where you prefer the second book over the first book. So there's actually like a lot of book series that I prefer the second book over the first, so I'm gonna name just a few of those. The first one that comes to mind is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, which is in the Throne of Glass series. So Throne of Glass itself was really hard for me to get into. Once I started reading Crown of Midnight, I knew that the series was just going to get better. I liked where the character arcs were going in book 2. I was not a fan of Selena in book 1, so I really appreciated like her growth just from the first to the second book and like where the story was going. And then another one that comes to mind is Siege and Storm, which is the second book in the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. I liked the first book. I definitely like the second one better just because the dynamics of the characters got stronger and the relationships and just the storyline in general got a lot stronger. I feel like second books push the series forward, whereas the first one's more of like introductions and things like that. So there are a lot of series where I prefer the second book to the first one. Zapdos, a book where you wanted the character to be struck down by lightning, to never return. For this one, I'm going to go with the Shadowhunter series with the character of Sebastian. He's just a really horrible character all around, and I was just never really a fan of him, and he just kind of ruins everything a lot. So without him, everything would have been better, but then like the characters wouldn't be where they are today, that kind of thing. But I just was not a fan of his character, and he's really annoying, and he's just not a good person. Another one, honestly, I'd probably say like Mal in the Grisha trilogy can be struck down by lightning, just because he's kind of annoying and like he needed to, I just felt like he should probably die at some point just because he was really like, he just got on my nerves because Alina could have done so much better. Moltres, a book that got your blood boiling. For this one, I'm actually gonna go with the book that like really made me mad. But for this one, I'm gonna go with Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This book I've talked about a few times on this channel, but it's just, that one I definitely wanted to throw out the window a few times because it just made me so mad, and like you don't know what's gonna happen and the twists are just so well written and the characters are just so hateable. So like I don't like any of the characters in that book, and because they're just written so well that makes you want to hate them, and that book just made me so angry. And it's so crazy everything that happens, and I just hate everyone, so that book for sure got my blood boiling. Articuno, a book that you would wait for the world to freeze over before you got rid of it. You probably don't even want to get rid of it. I'm definitely going to go with Six of Crows because it is my favorite book of all time, and I love it so much, and I would never get rid of this. I actually was about to let my roommate borrow this book, and that was kind of scary for me because I don't really let people use my books, especially my most favorite book, so this book, I could never get rid of it. I just love it so much. It's the best. It's always here for me when I need it. Lugia, a book that you feel like has psychic powers. A book that really speaks to you on a personal level. For this one, I'm going to go with Fangirl by Rowell. I love that book, and it really came at a special time in my life because I was actually in college. But it follows this girl named Kath. Her and her twin sister are starting college for the first time. Obviously, it's her freshman year. They are both kind of different, and Kath kind of realizes that like her and her sister aren't going to be hanging out together anymore. And her sister is really all she has, like, connected at this school. And so it follows Kath as she really struggles to make friends in college and to just kind of come out of her shell. She's a big reader. She writes fan fiction, so that's pretty much where she spends her time. And she has a really hard time connecting with other people, and she's like super shy and dealing with a lot of personal problems at home as well as at school. So I just felt like really connected to that because I was super shy in college and I didn't really have a lot of friends except for my roommate. And it was just really hard for me. Like, college just wasn't like the best experience. Like, I enjoyed it my last 2 years, but in general I just was really shy. I mostly focused on things that I like doing and my reading and my major, of course, and classes. I didn't really like have a social life really outside of classes and whatnot. I kind of regret all that, but that book just really hit me on a personal level, even though she's struggling with a lot more things than what I was struggling with. But at the same time, I really felt connected to her character and the story and just the way Kath was. And I don't know, it was just a really good book, and I've read it a few times, and I definitely need to give it a reread because it's so good, especially if you're college age. Like, it just really makes you feel a lot of things. Ente, a character or characters from a book that you'd want to be your parents or that remind you of your parents. For this one, I have to go with Tessa and Will from Chain of Gold and just the Shadowhunter series in general. I love my parents so much, like I wouldn't want to change them at all. If I had to have parents from books, it'd be Will and Tessa because they care so much and they're super loving toward one another. Like, their relationship is just goals. Like, to see that loving relationship in your parents is just really lovely, and it just shows that connection and would help you develop really strong relationships, because I don't feel like I had that really. It's just really lovely, and they're just such good people, and they really care about their kids, but they're also really fun, and they know that their kids are going to get into trouble because that's how they were when they were that age. So they're just really understanding parents, and they're not super harsh, but they do really care, and they know what's best for their kids, and I feel like they're just really strong parents. Ho-Oh, a book that you love that you feel like nobody really knows about. For this one, I'm gonna actually go with the Pendragon series by DJ McHale. I read that in middle school, and I just fell in love with that series. That series is actually what really got me into reading a lot. Like, since then I just never really wanted to stop reading. But that series I feel like doesn't get talked about a lot. Like, I always hear about Percy Jackson and those series. I never hear the Pendragon series get talked about, and when I go home I really want to get those books back and just do like a huge like readathon or like read along with those books. I mean, the last time I read them I really still enjoyed them, and I just feel like, I don't know, they just don't get talked about, but it's a series that means a lot to me because it changed my reading life, and I don't think I'd be the reader I am without them. I don't know. But that series just doesn't get talked about, so maybe I'll like do some more discussions on it. It's really cool. There's so many different locations and really cool characters, and it's just a really fun series. The last one, Latias and Latios, a book duo you absolutely love. For this one, I have to go with Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This duology is my life. I love it so much. I've never loved a series or duology so much. The characters in this duology, the world, everything about it, the writing, I'm just so inspired by it every single day, and I don't think I can go a day without thinking of these books in one way or another. Like, I just love Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. It's such an amazingly written heist story, and the characters are all super unique, very different from one another. Their growth between these two books is just really amazing. I love that this series is so different from anything that I've read. Like, yes, there's magic and there's just a lot of things that are happening, but the heist is written so well, and I've heard that's like one of the hardest types of stories to write is a heist story, and Leigh Bardugo just kills it, and she reveals so much about these characters and who they are. Their personal journeys are super meaningful and met really wonderfully. Leigh Bardugo makes sure that you know each character on a really personal level. She wants you to feel connected to each character, and she writes it really well. It's not overwhelming, it's not taking away from the story, it just keeps adding to it. I don't know who I would be without these books anymore because they mean so much to me, and I can't go a single day without thinking about them and how much I love these characters. So yes, this is my favorite duology of all time. Alright guys, that is the end of this tag. I don't know what's going on with my shirt right now, but it's really annoying. Thank you, Sarah, for creating this awesome legendary Pokemon book tag. I know you have another tag out there that I definitely want to get to while celebrating the Bookemon readathon. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a nice little thumbs up. If you want to keep following me on this booktube journey, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at EricaAGobble. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!